Good morning. I'm glad you guys are here. We're just going to start just finding a nice seat and just place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. You can just follow your breath in and out. Connie's belly started growling when she put her hand on it. Oh, funny. As you turn inward, just check in with yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. Remembering that you are not your body alone. You have a soul. And actually, your body is just a housing for your soul, a means for you to shed your light, shed your beautiful light in this world. Now, please bring hands to heart center. And just set an intention for yourself, for the practice, or for the day. I think when you take the time to do this, no matter what you're doing, kind of makes you soften and see things from a different perspective. Prioritize from a place within your heart. May we always remember the grace that surrounds us and is truly within us. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and we're going to start in a child's pose. So go ahead and you can just stack your hands or your fists under your forehead, if you'd like. And even here, noticing your breath, you can easily feel it in your belly. If you can feel it in your back, your low back, your back body. Sometimes I even say to myself, breathing in, breathing out. Go ahead and stretch your arms long. Press your palms down. And just slightly stretch the right hand a little further. And then pull it back into place. Stretch the left arm a little further. And pull it back into place and just slide your hands back till your elbows come down and bring your palms together. And then pressing the elbows down, just bring the hands up over your head in that prayer position. And feel a little stretch in your triceps. Breathing in, breathing out. And lowering the hands back down. Come up on fingertips. A nice stretch in the shoulders. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then grounding the hands down. Come on up to all fours and just slide into a cow pose. And then when you exhale, round to cat. And just keep going like that. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more time. And then pause with a flat back, remembering the last 2 weeks how we've stabilized shoulders and hips. Keep that long spine as you extend the right leg straight back, point and flex. But a few times. Lift your leg from the belly of your hamstrings. If that makes sense. Good. And then just go ahead and place the ball of your foot down. Keep the leg stretched long. Engage your core and just kind of feel a nice stretch throughout the whole leg. And then lifting the leg up again. Keep everything stable as you bring the leg off to the side, the foot off to the side. See what I'm doing. And then just stretch the inner thigh out, maybe move forward and back a little bit so you can really feel all parts of that inner leg. Lengthening. Good. And then pick the foot up, bring it back behind you, stabilize, and add the left arm. And 2 more breaths. You can do it. Lengthen, stabilize. And on your exhale, bring the left hand down, the right knee down, and extend your right arm up and thread it underneath, or thread the needle. I'm not going to give a lot of instructions as far as alignment today. I just want you to notice, all those things we've been working on. Stay present with your breath. And come on up and we'll switch sides now. So extending the left leg, lifting from the belly of the hamstring, stabilizing, can point and flex. Feel the ankle and the toes maybe. Lift and spread them. And then setting the ball of the left foot down. Adding a little stretch. Drawing your low belly up. Feel it more. Good. Lift the leg. Bring it off to the side. Your foot and your knee are pretty much in the same line. And just move forward and back a few times. Coming back to center, extending that leg again, stabilizing, and adding the right arm. Breathing in, breathing out. Last breath. And lower the hand, lower the knee, extend the left arm up, and thread it under, thread the needle. Being very mindful. Come on up to all fours. Bring your right knee in the middle and then swivel the foot to the left a little bit, your right foot. Tuck your left knee in behind and swivel that foot to the right a little bit. And then just walk back, your hands back. A little gomukasana stretch. Stretching the ankles. If it's good for you to sit all the way back, you can. For me, this feels like a good stretch. And come on forward and we'll switch. So left knee places in the middle, swivel it to the side, tuck your right knee in behind. And then just being mindful to keep the hips even. Your left knee will lift as you sit back. Opportunity to drip down. Good, and then come on forward again. Unwind. Bring your hands in front of your shoulders. Curl your toes, lift to your first downward facing dog. Take your time to really feel everything connected. You can bend one knee and the other. Feel the shoulders broadening. Feel really connected there. Good. And then come on forward to plank pose. And then when you get to plank, tuck your chin really round your upper back. And then bend your knees deeply and push back to downward facing dog. So it feels a little bit like cow here. Come forward to plank as you do round, more like cat. Bend the knees, push back, downward facing dog. plank rounding. And let's do that one more time. And then pause in downward facing dog. Come forward to plank and lower down to the mat this time. If you need to lower knees first, no big deal. Stretch your feet long and lift up to cobra. Just thinking my goal is to lengthen and stabilize. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time. And lower down. And push all the way back to all fours. And I'm going to have you grab your blocks and just bring them under your hands. And then come up to a downward facing dog on the blocks. And extend the right leg and step it through to a deep lunge. Just take a moment there just to really feel that stretch now. We're trying to stretch all sides of the hips. And you might have to bring the blocks to the higher height because I'm going to have you shift your hips back and straighten your right leg. Lift the left heel high for Parsvottanasana. Keeping the hip creases parallel. If you want more stretch, you can always walk your hands out further. I'm keeping them on the blocks because it feels like my armpits lift better that way. Heels, sits bones line up. Good. Walk the hands back. Bend into the front knee. And now lower the back knee. Hug the heel and the knee towards each other. Bring your hands to your front thigh. And a lot of people, they'll get into this and they'll just kind of dump into it. I'm going to have you go a little deeper because you're going to stretch out this hip flexor, but do it mindfully. So you have muscle energy, keeping everything stable, and then just bend a little deeper. So the hips move evenly. The right hip doesn't come forward. Just feel a nice stretch. You can let your arms dangle if you're feeling stable. And maybe extend them. Anjane Asana. On your next exhale, touch down. Good. Lift the back knee and step forward, forward fold. And let's switch right foot back to deep lunge. Check your alignment. Check the stretch. And then moving the hips up and back to straighten the left leg. Parsvottanasana. Keep weight in all parts of your front foot and your back foot. Just think, okay, the ball of my foot's really pressing down, but can you activate both sides of the heels as well? And then if you want more stretch, you can walk the blocks forward. Not necessary. Only if it feels like a good stretch for you. Everything's lined up. And walking the blocks back, bend into the front knee, lower the back knee, hands to the front thigh. Just noticing, maybe bending just a little deeper. And then reach up, Anjane, when you're ready. Breathing in, breathing out. Last breath. And touch down on the exhale. Good. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. And then you can walk the blocks back with you if you want, or just walk your hands back to a forward fold at the back of your mat. And if you have your hands able to touch the ground, see if you can turn the backs of the hands down, and you can put them on top of the blocks too if you're on the blocks, just to give yourself a little wrist stretch. Noticing, hopefully you're feeling a little more open. And then walk the hands, put the hands and the blocks back out to a downward facing dog on the blocks. And extend the left leg. And then step that foot through to deep lunge. And then step your right foot forward. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now, seeing where you are, I want to play with gomukasana. No, not gomukasana. Garudasana. Eagle pose. And I'm going to use a block. If you think you might fall out, you can move one block out of the way. So just keep your block by your right foot. Yeah. I'm just going to keep that one away. Yeah. And then shift your weight to your right foot. Lift your left heel. Bend both knees like you're in a chair pose. And then lift that knee up and over and stack it on top. And then the block's there for the ball of your foot or your toes. So you can hug to the midline and feel stable. Yeah. Keep the hips square to the front. Good. Now bring your arms up. Stack your left elbow on your right elbow. And either hug your shoulders, bring the backs of the hands together, or maybe wrap the palms together. And breathe. Good. Unwind and come out. Woo! Can you tell we're doing hip openers today? And switch sides. Sometimes the block you have to adjust where it is just to make sure it's in the right spot for you. This is my new favorite way to do garudasana because it gives you a little more stability and then you can work to hug in. So lift your right heel now. Bend both knees. Think chair pose. And then if you can lift the knee pretty high to get it across, it helps. And then work on keeping everything hugging in, hips square. And then you're going to stack the left elbow on top of the right. Either hug the shoulders, backs of hands, or wrap. You know. And breathe. One more breath. Unwind. And come on out. Oh, yeah. I'd like to do it one more time. And you decide whether you want to do it with the block or without. I think I'm going to keep using the block because I like it. Standing on your right foot, lift your left knee or your left heel, bend the knee. This is key. You want to keep everything really stable as you bring the knee up and over. And stack your left elbow on your right when you're ready. You can play. One more breath. Wind and come out. Yay. Last side. I like to do it this way just because I'm shifting the weight, but then when I bend both knees, I can feel the hips staying stable as I bring this up and over. One side always feels different. Stack left elbow on top of right. Last breath. Good. Unwind as you come out. Yeah, nice job. I know, it's a lot of work. Come back. Just putting both blocks right close to your feet now. So you have a little room to the outside of your blocks, and then step back to a downward facing dog here. And please extend the right leg and step it to the outside of the block. Just making sure that your spine and everything is straightforward. The only thing that's kind of out of order is your right knee. And even the toes on that knee, I'm kind of angling them out. And think really nice, connected, long spine, maybe lower to your elbows. Right hip crease stays back. Left hip crease and right hip crease. Try to stay in the same line. I'm hugging my knee forward and my heel back. That intensifies the stretch, but it feels safer for me. Always takes a few breaths. Be able to really appreciate the stretch. Good, and then come on back up on your hands. Lift your back knee and step back, downward facing dog. And extend the left leg, step it to the outside of the block. Lower the back knee when you're ready, when you feel like things are lined up. Everything's same alignment. Maybe lower to your elbows. I'm hugging the knee forward, the heel back, keeping the left hip crease back, but in the same line as the right hip crease. Breathing in, breathing out. Coming back up on your hands, lifting the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Bring your blocks a little wider. And then step your feet up to your hands, right between the blocks. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Thank goodness we're not bent over. Take one more breath. And on the exhale, fold forward again. Pranam. And step your left foot back to deep lunge. I'm going to do this first. Lower your back knee. Stretch up Anjaneyasana. One more breath. Exhale, touch down. Inhale, lift the back knee, ground the back foot down. Right hand stays on the block, left hand comes to the hip. Work with a rib cage today. Think rib cage back, especially on that left side as you twist open. And extend your arm straight up. Parsvakonasana. Now, if this is too deep, you feel free to bring the elbow to the knee. It's okay if you do that. Feel the back foot supporting you, back leg. Okay, now keeping the right hand on the block, just shift your hips back to straighten the right leg to triangle pose. It's a really deep hip opener. Nice. Left rib cage back a little more, hollow out your armpit. That's it. Good, you guys. One more breath. And as you exhale, bend the front knee, touch the hand down, turn the back heel up. Good. Step back, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg, step it through deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Reach up, Anjaneyasana. One more breath. And as you exhale, touch down, lift the back knee, ground the back foot down. Left hand stays on the block, right hand to the hip. Open up Parsvakonasana. Think right hip crease back. Extend the arms straight up. And breathe. Think of the left side of your body being just as long as the right side body. That makes sense. Rib cage back. Move the hips back, straighten the left leg. If you need to go to a higher height with the block, it's okay. Forgive yourself. It's deep. Nice. Last breath. And on the exhale, bend the front knee, touch the hand down, turn the heel up. Step back, downward facing dog. And then just set your blocks off to the side for a moment. And we can do a vinyasa, or you can take child's pose if you're ready for that. So inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, or up dog if you're ready for that. Down. Push back to all fours, and then downward facing dog. If you want to grab the blocks again, you can. We're going to do a step through, extend the right leg, and step it through, deep lunge. Good. Step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Stretch your arms up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Let's keep going. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your right foot back only as far as you can ground your heel down and bend your left knee. And I want you to just check your alignment, see if your left heel, your left hip are aligned, your right heel, your right hip are aligned. Bring your hands to your front knee. Make sure the knee is tracking straight and it's right over your ankle. Slowly come up. Warrior one. I want you to just notice how stable you can feel. That's the goal here. One more breath. And touch down. Turn the blocks to the higher height. And shift your hips back to straighten the left leg again. See how stable you can find yourself here. And then bring your left hand to your hip. Now, don't let anything change in the lower body. Just think sits bones back, long spine, rib cage back, and especially the left one as you twist to your left. Maybe extend the left arm, twisted triangle. Hollow out the left armpit. If you don't have, if it doesn't feel good to extend the arm, just keep it on the hip. It's no big deal because you want to feel connected and stable in the lower body. Good. Touch down. Bend the front knee and step forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Thank goodness. Standing. And exhale, hands through heart center. To the other side, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. And step that left foot back, bend the right knee, just so you can ground the heel down. Everything lines up. Your one foot is not in front of the other, bring your hands to your front thigh. Keep drawing the right hip crease back. Slowly come upright. Warrior one. If you don't feel weight in your left heel, step that foot forward a little bit more. More breath. Touch down. Good. Slide the hips back to straighten the right leg. Check your alignment. Left hand stays on the block. Sometimes I have to move that hand forward a little bit. Left hand or right hand to the hip. And then the pose stays super stable in the low body. Twisted up triangle pose. More breath. And reach down, touch the block, and step back, downward facing dog. And go ahead and take a child's pose. And then coming up to all fours, just move your blocks in front of your mat for now. And come up to a downward facing dog. We have one more hip opener I want to do. So you're going to do pigeon prep pose. So the wider you keep your stance, the better it feels. So extend the right leg and then close the knee like it's a hinge. And then see if you can come forward like to a plank and then bring the right knee right up this side or behind the right wrist and lower the left knee. And then just kind of see, is your left leg going straight back? Can you really protect your right knee by keeping the knee hinged? So I don't want to bring that foot forward too much. You can always add more stretch by walking the left leg back a little more. Keep a nice, long, connected spine. I find myself hugging my knees towards each other, and that actually helps me feel more stable. I don't want to just dump into this. You can use a block under that right hip if that helps too. So you don't just dump, you don't want it just hanging there, I guess is the, and then lengthening out, come down to your elbows. Thinking right hip crease back and maybe even wide. We have a tendency to let it come in. You can even lower to your forehead if that feels good. And for those of you with super open hips, if you want more, thread your left arm underneath your right and come down to 7 in for the breath. Oh man, there's your hip. Oh. For 2 more breaths. And then however you can, come back up on your hand. Curl your left toe under, lift the left leg, and slide that right leg back to a downward facing dog. Or however, if that doesn't work for you, just however you can. Up to down dog. And just for fun, do one more vinyasa. So inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower. Downward facing dog. To the other side. You can do this move from all fours if that's better for you. For me, it feels a little easier to get it clear up where I want it from down dog. So extend your left leg, close the knee, and bring that knee clear forward. Lower the back knee. You can always walk the foot back to see, am I lined up? Long spine. And maybe come down your elbows. Think left hip back and wide. And if you want that additional stretch, you come up on your hands, but have them forward, then thread your right arm under your left. Draw the back of the neck long. Draw the breast down back. Good, and then coming back up onto your hands. Lift the back knee and step your foot back to a downward facing dog. And just take a moment there. And come on down to your knees. I'm going to have you move your blocks to the sides of your mat. And then go ahead and transition to your backs with your feet flat. I'm going to turn these lights down. Maybe off. See how it works off. So your blocks are kind of handy. We'll try something funky. So hug both knees in. Just kind of roll side to side, just lengthening your spine out. And then bring your left foot and leg and extend it long. Just hold on to your right knee. You'll have to let the knee come away from your chest enough that you can feel a little curve in your low back. And then just allow the knee to come off to the right side. And just holding the knee with your right hand, keeping that hinge really steady. See if you can reach the ankle with your left hand. And then just Keeping the left leg really grounded, just turn the femur bone in the socket so your knee comes further to the right. The ankle comes further in. So it feels a lot like what you just did, that pigeon prep. Good. And then unwind, or just bring the knee back, hold it with both hands. Bend your left knee, bring the foot flat, and just let go of your right knee and bring it across the left. And then lift your feet up off the ground. Widen your left foot to the right, your right foot to the left. Flex the feet. Reach up, grab the shins with your hands. Press up, lengthen your spine. Maybe lay back down. This is longhorn pose. I don't know if there's a Sanskrit name for it, but that's how I know it. Keep the hip creases parallel. Good. Now release the hands and the feet back to the ground. Shift your hips a little bit to the right. Bring your arms to cactus. And then lift your knees up again. And just allow the right shoulder to stay down, but roll to your left hip and bring the block under your right shin so it can support it. You're in this twist. And maybe you feel, maybe you don't need the block. That's okay if you don't. But I like it. Just decide, maybe your hips are open enough. You can go without it. A deep twist. Think right rib cage draws back. If T position is better for your arms, do that. Maybe turn your gaze to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Very carefully roll back to center. Unwind your feet. See if you can straighten out your hips. So they're right in the center. And hug your knees in again. And then lengthening out your right leg and grounding it down, allowing the curve to come back in your low back. Just hug your right knee in. Bring it off to the left. You like grabbing the ankle, you can. Kind of rotating it in the socket. Knee comes wider, ankle comes closer. Right leg stays grounded. Good. And then bringing it back to center, bend the right knee, stack the left knee on top. Oh, I almost forgot longhorn pose. Lift both knees up. Reach up, grab the shins. If your hips are level, and then just press the shins into your hands. It'll feel stretch in that left hip especially. And release. Bring the right right foot down. Shift your hips to the left this time. Arms in cactus or T. And then bring the knees a little closer. Roll to your right hip. Allow the block to support your left shin. Draw the left rib cage back a little more. Turn your gaze to the left. If all that feels good, you can use a blanket under my knees. Go for a little deeper twist. Good. And then bring your knees up, unwind, shift your hips so they're right in the middle. And bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. And I'm going to use my blocks under my outer hips because I like that feeling of support there for Supta Baddha Konasana. And if you want, bring your hands on your chest and your belly again. Noticing the breath. Now, if this feels good and you want to stay here for Shavasana, feel free. Or go ahead and bring your knees together and stretch out for regular Shavasana. And soften your heart. You find that you're gripping your jaw, release it. Open your scalp and your brow. Breathing in, breathing out. Notice your hip area where you've been working all the muscles and ligaments there, and just encourage them to let go as you exhale. As you continue to just relax in Shavasana, I wanted to share some thoughts from Marianne Williamson. Not my body, but my spirit is who I truly am. My mortal self is not my total self, but rather a fraction of my being. I accept today that I am part of God, therefore a part of the immortal world. My body is but a temple space. May it serve me well in extending light from my spirit into the world. My body is blessed as I see it correctly, as a device for giving love. Starting to notice that you're still breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. And allow 3 long, slow, deep breaths. And then begin to wiggle and move in small ways. Start your transition on up to seated. Please bring hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for practicing today. And I bow to that beautiful spirit that lives within your beautiful shell. Namaste. Will still work.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Bye. Have a great